Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the Sonic Adventure 2 commentary, where we're getting right back into the action. This time with the mech shooting stages. Stages that not a lot of people like. You can sort of see why, but I don't know, I've always found these stages to be quite charming. I mean, again, as I stated in the review, I suppose maybe people would have appreciated it more if you had more free-flowing control akin to Burning Ranges, but, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we're still very much, basic Tails. Shot Omochao, thank goodness. Yeah, I might as well talk about Omochao that I don't think I ever actually brought up in the review, but Omochao is basically this robotic Chow-looking thing that gives you hints. And a lot of people back in 2001 found very annoying and, well, took the opportunity to shoot it down. Yeah, I think Omochao was a little bit more annoying in Sonic Heroes when they changed the voice actress, because, here I think it's voiced by Lani Minella, whereas later ones, I don't know who voiced it. I want to say it was Cream's voice actress, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, it was basically an annoying hint system akin to, Navi or whatever else from any other video game you can point out. And ostensibly, well, just shoot it down and, it actually has a lot of dynamic quotes based on what you interact with it. I guess much like the Chow Garden in and of itself, so, yeah, I mean, if you shoot it down, it's like, oh, fuck you, I'm not gonna help you anymore. Well, minus the expletive, but, yeah. If you actually, well, again, you can't really do this as Tails, but again, if you actually hold Omochao in your grasp as a character like Knuckles or Sonic or Rouge or whatever, yeah, it will actually have, like, a different ending quote, where, yeah, one quote right at the end of the game actually says that, did you know that Dr. Eggman's mustache is fake? Which, I mean, would certainly make sense with Sonic Lost World, given that one gag where, like, a rabbit ate Eggman's mustache, mistaking it for a carrot. And, he obviously didn't feel anything because, yeah, a little tip to all the ladles out there, facial hair hurts. Well, again, if you pull at it anyway, but it's neither here nor there in this case. Yeah, to talk about the mech shooting stages in terms of basic gameplay functionality, to show you that I'm not completely off the rails. Yeah, basically lock onto as many targets as possible, fire away, and you will maximize your score target threshold and get yourself some sweet, delicious points. Why exactly you want to get some sweet, delicious points is because you want to get A ranks. You want to get A ranks depending on what missions you sort of get. And yeah, I might as well talk about that. Additional missions that you also have for Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah, some are get 100 rings, some are complete a hard mode version of the stage, some are finding the Lost Chow. The stuff that also requires a Mystic Melody, something you can acquire, at a bunch of different places. And of course, complete a hard mode version of the stage and complete it within a time trial, and then, well, A rank all of that, you eventually unlock Green Hill Zone. Although that's also, bearing in mind that you do the additional stuff like completing the boss rushes, completing the kart racing stuff, completing all the Chow Garden bullshit minigames, and, while we still have the time. And I'm only saying this because, this comment was recently showing up in the fun part of Kingdom Hearts Stream Drop Distance. My major props to, the media nerd for completing Sonic Adventure 2 100% 6 or 7 times. I mean, goddamn, I only had the patience to do that shit once, but, props to him, man. Like, he had the patience to do it, and, I'm impressed. But yeah, putting all that aside, though, yeah. I don't know. I quite enjoy a lot of the mech shooting stages. I will admit, though, that Tails does get the short end of the stick, being a late addition to the game. Things I'll explain a little bit later when I got more time for a level, but yeah, I think the basic gameplay loop is pretty solid, although yeah, the only real problems with Tails levels come much later on in his, stages. This one here is relatively well playtested and, quite enjoyable to play through, so no real complaints. Oh, and that floating gun beetle is gonna haunt my nightmares for the rest of time. Delicious score.
Very good!
But I didn't get an A rank. Oh, it's like school all over again, failing to get the best grade. Why must I be so stupid?
Huh? Amy?
Keep your voice down. Have no fear. Amy Rose is here.
How'd you get here?
Well, if you gotta know, I caught a ride with Tails. Are you sure you don't need my help? It looks like you could use it.
The reason I'm in here is because of that fake hedgehog.
You mean that black hedgehog?
Did you see it? Where is it now?
If I tell ya, will you marry me?
No way!
I thought I had you this time. That black hedgehog came here with Dr. Eggman.
So, Eggman's behind this, huh?
What's all that writing on the wall anyway? Did you write that? Wait for me, Sonic! He's such a brat sometimes.
I do wonder if those are some actual calculations written on the wall, or if it's just random math equations just sort of thrown up there. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say no, because, yeah, and a slight genius bonus, Sonic Adventure 2 does actually have a slight reference to what would happen later on with a certain scientist. And not the one that you're thinking of, mind you, so I'll point that out when we get to it. But in the meantime, though, Metal Harbor. Everything is enjoyable. This reminds me of Christmas time. Everything is enjoyable. Sorry, I'm just kind of fucking about, really. Yeah, this is also a really fun stage that you can use to get a lot of major score threshold, although admittedly made a bit easier when you finally get, some of the more power-ups later on in the game. Although, speaking of power-ups, yeah, this is one where we finally do get some major power-ups later on. But needless to say, I don't know, it's really enjoyable to blast through the stage when you have, Sonic fully decked out, in this case with the Lightspeed shoes. Yeah, you can perform the Lightspeed dash now much faster than what it was in Sonic Adventure, where now it's just a tap of a button as opposed to waiting for it to charge up. But yeah, that does kind of go into the philosophy of Sonic Adventure 2, just getting everything done in one slick and silky run. Like, you might see a few awkward pauses here and there because Sonic doesn't have the required power-ups, or, you're just not making the required routes, but let me tell you, when you get these levels down in one slick and silky run, it is fucking euphoric akin to, the sorts of tricks you can pull off in, Sonic 2 and Sonic & Knuckles. Again, it's really the major appeal of these sorts of games, to get things done in one slick and silky run, which might not be everybody's cup of tea in terms of platformers, but I don't know, when you pull it off, it's, again, it's a thrill that's indescribable, man. And yeah, chaining together homing attack patterns also builds up your score threshold, so if you see a large chain of enemies, make sure you strike them down rather good. And yeah, there are actually two specific exits you can get in this level. Well, exits. Yeah, one of which is, well, the lower route, where you just get jamming. But yeah, if you walk quick on your feet, you can actually get up to the higher echelon of the rocket, which you can see, well, right up there. And yeah, then you get excellent, I believe, thus increasing your score threshold and, well, proving once and for all that you are radical. That is also on top of also getting, a few additional gun beetles to chain together for, added score, and in turn a few rings, but it's Christmas time as you streetboard down this thing. These levels are really fun. They're very short bursts if you know what you're doing, but, I don't know, they're really enjoyable stuff, and, well, some might say that the brevity of the Sonic and Shadow levels might be to this game's detriment. I disagree, but, given how fun some of these levels are, I can see why. Because, in some people's eyes, Sonic Adventure 2 barely made it is a good game, or barely made it is a bad game.
Phew, so far so good. Hey, that's...
That blue hedgehog again, of all places.
I found you, Faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh? You're not even good enough to be
I'll make you eat those words.
Oh, squad-a-la, we did the meme. Or whatever. Not really even too sure why that became meme-worthy, but... Backweast. Anyway, this is basically a better handled version of a lot of the character rival battles seen in Sonic Adventure 1, where Shadow at least puts up a slight effort to defend himself, but this one's kind of intentional. He's more testing Sonic's power, for the lack of a better phrase. I mean, it's better than the one from Sonic Adventure, where you just can hit Knuckles 3 consecutive times apropos of nothing, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a bit cynical, but yeah. I always sort of took that battle as Shadow underestimating Sonic as opposed to anything else, but don't worry, the next time, he will be taking you quite seriously. And this sort of gives away what's going to happen in the next cutscene, so, I'll shut up.
Shadow, what are you doing? Hurry and get back here right now before the island blows up with you on it!
Blows up?
Yeah, if this was Resident Evil, this would be saved to the end of the game. Well, I mean, it does kind of make sense. I mean, Shadow is a bioweapon of sorts, so, Resident Sonic? Sonic Hazard? Curious. Yeah, well, I mean, there is a prison island in the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie, so, I do wonder if this scene will be adapted. I'm gonna say no, since that movie does also seem to be doing some quite different things, and, I'll probably save a lot of my tangents with the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie a little bit later on as I continue to talk about Adventure 2, to at least give the game its dues, but, in any case, though, yeah, Green Forest. It's a little bit more dangerous and a bit more treacherous than previous levels, obviously, since we are scaling in difficulty here, but there is a lot of opportunities for you to, you know, grind a lot of the moss-like pipes, you know, chain together enemy patterns, and, you know, just generally score some major huge point threshold, dude. Yeah, don't let the time limit really get you down, because, I mean, Sonic pretty much runs a lot faster, and the level is, you know, brisk enough if you know what pathways to take. So yeah, like, I mean, a lot of the challenges of Sonic Adventure 2 isn't so much completing the level, it's about trying to be cool while doing cool things in the level. I mean, if I could kind of compare it to anything, and this is kind of saying something since it does kind of predate this by, well, I'm willing to say at least like a few months, or, you know, if not that, then at the very least conceptually before that. But yeah, it's kind of like a Devil May Cry kind of thing, where, again, in Devil May Cry's case, you're using the combat to, you know, look cool and, you know, sort of get the best ranking. Sonic Adventure 2, on the other hand, is, well, basically just doing that as an early adopter. You know, you're meant to do cool things in the level, get major point threshold, and get the best ranking, so, yeah. I do wonder whether or not that was intentional, because Hideki Kamiya, I mean, you know, much as, you know, he might not seem like it these days, you know, he was a big fan of his Sega arcade games, and, even in Bayonetta, he did include a character called Eggman the Destroyer, so, you know, there has to be some linkage there, but it's neither here nor there in this case. Regardless, though, we're pretty much done with this level. Has a lot of cool hazards, and, was also based on Yosemite National Forest from, you know, San Francisco, so, bask in all of its Ewok goodness. Actually, no, that was the Redwood Forest when I was thinking of it, Return of the Jedi. Scratch that thought. There we go, that's the ticker. And now we are free. By the way, I don't know if there's like an explosion graphic if you fail to complete the level within the time limit, but might be something to experiment with for a future playthrough if I'm just really that bored. In any case though, I am Solidus-Skully, keeping new metal, and next time on the Sonic Adventure 2 commentary, well, we escaped the island, and just now we're gonna see exactly what Shadow and Eggman and Rouge were up to on this island. Catch you later.